Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. Last episode we were trading with the villagers, and trading with these guys is so much fun. It is so much fun that I've been trading with them in between episodes and I kind of lost track of how far along we got, and I've learnt some things as well. So I thought we would start off by doing a little bit of a recap on the villager trading. We've got a villager here with a perfect trade, and that's kind of changed, my plans for how things would work. But this area here has changed a little bit since last episode as well, so I'll walk you through some of the things I've added over here. We have a automatic fishing farm in the corner. This just dispenses fishing rods over the top of a hopper, so you can stand here farming, and then when your fishing rod breaks you get a new one straight away. Rearrange some things here. I built this in the corner. I can't remember if I'd done this in the last episode or not, but the villagers, they come from down below, they go up the top here and then they get dropped onto this track. And then you can power that and it brings out a minecart with the villager in, and then you can stop it here and have a look at its trades. Now this thing I did build in the last episode, except it didn't work. It was really strange because I went into a creative world and I put the pad rails against a block like this, and I tested with villagers in minecarts, could they go right up against it, and oh, those zombies are so loud. I've got a feeling we've got a group of them up there. I'll go take a look at that in a moment. But yeah, the villagers in the creative world, they just went straight against the wall, they'd stay there, and when you press the button they'd come back out again. But here on the Hermitcraft server, it seems like they like to bounce off of unpowered rails and then go wherever they want. Even sometimes this rail right here, they don't stop on it, they bounce back in that direction, which is really strange behaviour, and I'm not sure if that's a bug or some sort of server glitch. But yeah, so anyway, we have one other thing over here as well. When you're done with a villager and you want to get rid of it, you can send it down here. Now this sends it 60 blocks away from the other villagers, which is more than enough. I've since found out that you only need to send them 16 blocks away, and also if a villager dies there's only a 3-minute penalty on trading and breeding, which is not as big as I thought it would be. I thought it would be something like, you don't ever get to trade with them again. So what happens here is the villager comes down in a minecart, and then they go into this block here where they start taking damage, and then it goes all the way along to the cactus, which breaks the minecart. The hopper below that track there picks it up and then puts it in the chest. So then the villager's standing there inside a block and it dies, and that is a really effective little trap right there. So another thing that I've changed is the villager breeder. We now have an on-off switch for this, which is really cool. Let's go down and have a look. And it is simply a fence gate right here. So remember that 3-minute penalty that I talked about? When we close this fence gate, and I've yet to add a block on the other side with a lever, but when we close this fence gate, when the baby villagers are down the bottom and they grow into an adult, they go into the water and they can't go any higher, so then they drown and they die, which causes the 3-minute penalty, but it means no villagers will come up, and also they will stop breeding, which is pretty cool. So when we open that again, it'll take 3 minutes before these guys start breeding, and then they will start going up again. So one thing I thought I could change here is perhaps we have a redirect route which takes the villagers 16 blocks away and then kills them, so that these guys are always breeding, and then that way when you want some new villagers it won't take as long to get them. But that's a good solution for now. Anyway, let's go down the bottom here. We have a magician villager. Now his trades are the same as... What one is that? That's a farmer. So his trades are the same as a farmer, except he can perform magic tricks. And his speciality is escaping. Because he was in this little area down here last time I came down, and somehow he got outside of it. I don't know how he's done that. Now we've had some come down before and get into this area, but we've since fixed that by placing a glass block on the edge there. That seemed to fix it, and now this guy has managed to escape from those doors in the middle. Which is weird. I don't know how he's done that. And hopefully he doesn't walk into here actually, because we need him down there, so let's block that off. That's good thinking. Anyway, let's recap on the villager trading now, because a lot has changed. I was planning to do all sorts of trades with these guys. I saw it like, we'd take all these different materials that we could farm, and then we would just trade with them for emeralds. So what I was originally doing is I was bringing them out, and they would stay here. Well, sometimes they wouldn't, but I'd get them in this area here, I'd see what trades they have, unlock as many as possible, and then I'd trade all of this stuff for emeralds, and then we'd get rid of them, so they go all the way down the end there to the trap with the cactus. And that is a lot of noise. I'm just going to go up there and get rid of these zombies. It's seriously annoying. They all group up the top here, because they're wearing armour, so let's just get rid of these guys. So, building up quite the little collection of armour here from those zombies. I'm sure we'll get more of that as time passes on. But anyway, let's go back to the trading. So what I realised after I started trading with the farmer is that the farmer's trades are a lot cheaper. Everything costs 1 emerald or 3, and then the other trades are fairly farmable materials. So I looked then at the butcher's trades and I saw that the stuff that cost emeralds were a lot more expensive, and that some of the things weren't really that farmable, like gold. And you know what, I'd rather use the coal as a building block, and the meat can be quite time consuming to get as well. So I thought, if we're going to do this perfect villager thing, the guy to do it with is the farmer, because if we get one of those emerald trades in the last slot, then when we make that trade it resets all of the other ones. So it cost us just 1 emerald to reset all of the trades, which I thought was a fair deal. But I've actually got a perfect villager who has the wheat trade as his very last trade, which is really good. And it also has the cheapest raw chicken trade you can get, which is 14, which is pretty cool. But this trade right here is the best one I think we can get, because we can fully automatically get loads of this. We can make a chicken farm on a large scale and get tons and tons of raw chicken, and then just continuously trade it with the farmer. Now that is something we can actually do with our farmer at the moment. Let's grab some chicken out of here. Actually I might need more than that, I'm not sure. Let's just use the wool instead. And I'm going to grab some wheat and show you this in action. So when we trade with this guy over here, he's going to reset all of his trades. He's doing something weird with his head there. He's going to reset all of his trades when we do the very last trade that he has. So if we do the wool trade right here, and this might take a moment just to go through all of them and get as many emeralds as we can. That noise they make. Okay, that's the last one. Okay, you can see there that that is locked out, so we will take our wool back and then we will trade with him again, and you'll see this time the wool is locked out. So now what we can do is go all the way to the end and trade the wheat trade with him, and we only have to do one of these. Now the wheat trade can get locked out as well, but it will also reset itself, and then we wait a moment and the particle effects come along, and now the wool trade has been reset. So this guy is a perfect villager. He has all his trades unlocked, and the last one is a very farmable resource, which is pretty cool. And if we can get raw chicken in this last trade, that would be good. But even this one is good for now. It's easy to get loads and loads of wheat, and it means that we can just brute force trades with him. You know, we can do wool. We could set up I was going to say chicken, a sheep farm, and shear them. But the best thing would obviously be the raw chicken, because it's completely farmable. So since I've had that guy there, all of this stuff that I had planned on using over here has become kind of useless, because I can basically do all of my trades with this one villager. So now we just have to look at the blacksmith trade. So the blacksmith's trades are obviously costly. Now I've done this trade once and it unlocked the sword, and I've done that a couple of times and I'm yet to unlock another one. So now it's really just about, you know, brute forcing trades with this guy here. I might look at getting another farmer in the future, one that has the raw chicken as the last slot, but do you know what, I think that's a lot of time and effort that goes into that, and he's doing the nodding thing again, and we can just simply do the one trade at the end to reset it each time, which I think is a good deal. And also the chicken is the very first trade, which means it's slightly quicker. You know, you don't have to navigate through all of this as well. So I like this guy right here. We're going to keep him, and now all we really need to do is just trade with this blacksmith over here over and over again. Now he's got one trade that I'm not looking forward to, which is the diamond one. He could be quite a costly guy, and if his very last trade is the diamond or gold, I'm not going to be happy with that as well. So there's a bit of risk involved, but really it's just about trading with this guy now. So I don't want to make the whole episode about trading, and I think I'm going to do most of my trading off camera. I don't know actually. If you guys like it, let me know, but we'll do a little bit of trading with this guy now just to see what we get. And I've been looking at those blacksmith trades, and the rare ones are chainmail, so it's quite likely that we'll get chain armor as the last trade, or I'd say it's more likely. And also the diamond and gold trades are common, so I think it's a good chance that those ones won't be the last trade, so I'm happy to start trading with this guy. So I've already done a couple of trades on the sword here, and there's a couple of zombies outside which I might have to go and kill. So this is what we do, we make our trade, we stand back, and now we're going to get some particle effects, and as soon as we see those we can go in and trade again. So we now got a new trade, and it is the axe. Let's do that one. And you can see this is quite costly. We're going to be running out of emeralds before long. So what's our new trade? We might not actually get a new one, which we haven't. It sometimes changes the price of a trade in front of it, I've noticed, but not that time. So we do it again, and every time we trade this last trade, he's always going to get the particle effects. So let's have a look. 7, 7, 7. I think that was more than 7 last time. I'll have to look at the video. Actually, no, that doesn't matter because we got a new trade, so that's what it unlocked. Okay, so let's do that one. We got ourselves some iron boots. It would be nice to get a few diamond trades on this guy so I could start using them. Although we got to be careful, you know, until we get that very last trade unlocked, we will actually run out of trades. So I can't use too many of these. Okay, let's do another one. Now, one thing I was wondering is it possible to get the last trade locked out? The last one that you have, because you can do 3 trades and then you can do up to another 13, and at random in those 13 trades it will lock out. Actually, I don't think I did that right. And I've had some times where I've been trading with these guys, and this trade here, the last one that he has available, I've done like 5 or 6 of those before. Do you know what? These guys are making such a racket. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Oh, what have I done? No, 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 no. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, God, I killed him! Oh, I can't believe I've done that. Oh, that was so stupid. I knew there were baby ones out here because... Ah. Oh. He's dead. Damn it. Okay, so I knew there were baby ones out here because they were making a lot of noise when I was trying to record a minute ago. And then I heard them all died, and I thought, okay, there's a baby one out there because they don't get set on fire. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I've wasted all of those emeralds. Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll get back to it soon. Come on, buddy. Look at those doors. Don't you like that sound? Don't you want to go inside? Oh. Come on. Listen to that sound. He's just gonna stand there. Come on, move, guy. Don't make me hit you. Ah, wish I had a bucket of water right now. No, he's just gonna stare at me. Yay, he's going inside. No, go in there. No. Oh. He wants to leave. Wants to climb up the ladder. Come on, get out. Oh no! He is climbing the ladder. Go down. Oh. I didn't know they could do that. Oh, I am learning things today. I'm learning that I can be foolish, and now I've got a villager climbing up a ladder, going away from where I want him to be. So these villagers and this trading game, it has been an absolute pain. You know, in between episodes setting up everything you see here, about 101 things went wrong. One example I can give you, there were so many villagers here grouping up at one point, that's why I added the on-off switch, that when I tried to get them out of a minecart, they wouldn't come out, they would just stay there. And then I had to disassemble this. Disassemble? That's the right word. Disassemble. There we go. I knew there's something wrong with that. Disassemble this whilst building a trap and not letting them escape, and it's been a real nightmare, but we're done with this for now. I'm going to come back later this episode. Hopefully we'll have a blacksmith and I can start trading with him, but for now we're going to go and check out a few other things. So there was a comment left on the video, one of the previous ones I did, about using sugar canes with the river to get rid of the water. Now, I haven't done this before, but I think I understand how it works, so we're going to go have a look at that. But first of all, we will look at the progress that I have made outside. Look at that. That is tons of progress right there. Now, there were some comments saying that I should remove the sandstone and that this being flat looked a bit dull. And I think I forgot to show an example of what the wastelands actually look like, because this right here is what it looks like after you remove the sandstone. And so some of this is artificial as well. It's just me placing down stone blocks and digging some random ones out as well. So all of this bit around here is kind of random and artificial, and then further over there is the actual wastelands in that area over there. So as well as doing that, I've also been digging out, and you can see a couple of bits here look like they need a little more detail, you know. This is where I've been doing it myself, but I still think it looks good, and you're going to see most of this from a distance as well. But anyway, let's just go up top here a little bit and have a look. So I've been digging out a lot more sand over in that direction, which we can't quite see, but I've also been expanding this area around the centre by another chunk, so it goes all the way across there and down to the river here, and then the same thing on the other side over there up to the river. So it's perfect timing to try out this thing with the sugar canes. Now, sugar canes have to be planted on a block that's adjacent to a water block, like those ones are over there, and also the water, when it flows, it doesn't break the sugar cane. You know, when you put some things in water, the water will then float and break it. That doesn't happen with sugar cane. Okay, and we also can't put it directly. No, we can put it directly next to a block. So why can't I place it there? I'm not sure. There's water next to it. Oh, there isn't water next to the block that it's on. So if we remove that, then I can place it there. Okay, cool. Now I've got a feeling when we're doing this that what's going to happen is some of the blocks are going to update, and then it's going to break the sugar canes. Now I think this will also be faster than what I was doing before. So this one here doesn't have a water block adjacent to it. That's why we can't put sugarcane there. And what I was doing before was just going underwater with loads of sand and just sort of swinging around, randomly placing them, and it wasn't very fast or efficient. And so I've got a feeling once I get the hang of this, this might be quicker. So once we start planting some of these ones lower down, like I think this one is now going to pop off. Yep, because we caused an update and it realises there's no water adjacent to it. Now we can also just hold down right click perhaps, swim upwards. There we go. So after doing this for a while, I figured out there are some techniques to this, and there's some limitations as well, but this is definitely something I'm going to be using because it's really quick to get away a bulk of the water. Now as far as you can go is one block before the bottom, so I can place sugar canes there, but I can't place the ones behind them, so it gets kind of limited when you get to the bottom, whereas the edges of rivers are usually sloped like this. That means you can continuously place sugar cane on each layer as you go down. And then there's a little bit of a technique to placing it as well. You have to kind of stand behind it, hold down right click, and then just move up and look up like that, and then you'll place them on top of each other really quickly. And this is a lot faster than placing down sand and letting it drop and doing it that way. Why can't I put it there? Because there's now sugar canes behind it. So that's another thing, you should always do the ones closest to the edge as well first, and then go to the ones behind them after. So using the sugar canes turned out to be pretty fast. You can see I've done the one over there, there's another bit of river there, and that one over there. It looks pretty cool the way the sugar cane holds up the water. In fact, we should go have a closer look at that, because I was thinking, you know what, that looks pretty cool, and that's something you could use in a build. But I've now cleared all of the chunks around here, with the exception of the sandstone, and that's interesting. It's also a squid farm. Kind of makes sense actually. They swim out to the sides and then they just stay in the air and they, well, I was about to say drown. They don't drown, but they suffocate. I'm not sure what they do, but they don't have any water, so they die. That's really interesting. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. You could definitely use that in a build, you know. Have that on a wall, have some water behind some sugar canes, and you get a nice green and blue look like this. But all of this is done now, and we need to move on. And I have a plan for what I want to do, but I can't remember exactly what it was. So now I remember what it is that I wanted to do. I need to go over to Hermittown and build a shop. Now we have the beacon, and I mentioned that I was thinking of starting up a service where people could hire me to dig. So that's what I want to do. I want to set up a digging for hire shop down at Hermittown. Now before we head over there, it's going to be the last of the villager trading stuff for now, I think. But I just need to update you on a couple of things. So I built the fishing farm over here. This had a door, and that door actually broke my villager breeder. But I was speaking to Tango Tech, and he mentioned that having a door within a certain radius of the villager breeder would break it. So when I removed that, they started breeding again. And also I had a blacksmith which I got rid of in the previous episode, and I was reading the comments and you were all saying that this was actually the best trade you could have, but I had diamonds for the very first trade, and that kind of put me off, whereas that's the best thing you can have for this guy, because if you want a perfect blacksmith, at some point you're going to have to do the diamond trade. And so if the diamond trade is the first one that you make, then you're always going to unlock the next one instantly, meaning that you only spend, you know, a few diamonds and then you're done with that trade. So if you get it later on, you could actually make that trade several times before unlocking the next one. So we're going to wait until we get a blacksmith with that trade, the 4 to 5 diamonds for an emerald, I think it is. Something like that. Anyway, it's time to head over to Hermittown and build that shop. So we are back at Hermittown, and Mumbo's built a little house here. Now, I saw this on the thumbnail of one of his episodes and I forgot to watch it, so I'm going to go watch that in a moment, but this is nice and cozy in here. Pretty cool little house. It's not often you see something built with bricks that looks good in vanilla, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of the texture, however this right here is pretty cool. But anyway, we need to find a location to build this, and I was just scouting out the area. There were two places that I was looking at, and then I realised there's a perfect place, you know, right between them. So one of the places was over here. I was looking in this direction. Now what we're going to build, by the way, it's going to be like a box on stilts, and it doesn't really look that impressive, but it's kind of striking because it has the text on the front of it, so you can kind of see, you know, what it looks like. And it's a bit inspired by the Doc box, which was built on the Minecraft server. I don't know if any of you watch Doc M, but I've been watching his videos lately. He's inspired me to do villager trading, and now he's kind of inspired me to design a shop in a similar format. But I was building it on my creative server and asked for people to come on and help me with it, and some people did turn up and they helped me do the interiors of it. So I want to say thank you to those people. You know who you are. It was cool to build with some other people. I find building is actually a lot more fun in groups because other people have ideas, and when they do stuff it gives you ideas, and it just makes everything so much easier. So anyway, the other location I was thinking about was just over here on this hill. Now there's, you know, a decent amount of space there, and I can fit my little box in there, and it would probably look pretty cool. You come up to the hill and you would see my little shop, although it doesn't really fit in with what's around it, I've got to say. So probably not a good idea to build it there. But this is Monkey Farm's base. That looks seriously cool. A big skull overlooking the village. That is awesome. I like that very much. And then you got King Happy's jungle temple. And then what DMAC is working on over here is some sort of lich tower, I do believe. That's starting to take shape now with that roof. Be interesting to see what, you know, that becomes. And I like how it goes into the hillside here as well. But this was the other location that I was looking at. And do you know what? On second thought, I don't think it would really fit in over there. But there's definitely space. And I was a little worried that maybe it would be too close to other people's builds. But I don't think they're builds that are expanding at all. So anyway, here I was, you know, looking back and forth at the two locations. And then I went, hang on a minute, there's a big space of land right here. So this would actually be perfect for where I want to build. I think we'd have to lower the floor down a little bit just so it doesn't spoil the view of Joe Hills' area, because it could kind of cut it off. I guess if you were coming from this direction, my box would be around here. So lowering it a bit is definitely a good idea, just so you can see what's going on behind it. So yeah, this is the ideal location right here. And then I saw this sign. Plan to build spawn house here, DMAC, and DMAC is now building his spawn house over there, so I'm going to assume that he forgot to remove this sign. If it is an issue though, and he does want this place built, you know, I don't mind tearing down what I build and just building it somewhere else. So yeah, we're going to get to work on that. Now I've already compiled a list of everything that I need to build this, because I've already built it on a creative server. So yeah, there's a lot of materials that are going into this, and I'm going to get everything prepared, and then building it should be nice and easy. So I just noticed that using efficiency 5 on the wood blocks is significantly faster than efficiency 4, at least it feels like it is to me. Now you see I've got a torch in my hotbar there. That's because when I was going through here I was wasting the usage on the axe on the leaves. I just couldn't be bothered to remove it, so I've done that. And then I thought, you know what, you can just use the keys on the keyboard and switch to another one quickly, which I didn't need to do there. And then you don't have to worry about the durability so much. And I also found out that Silk Touch works on leaves with a shovel, which is pretty cool. So I did plan on building all of this and then showing you it when it was done, but it has taken me quite some time to do this first bit here, so I thought I'd let you know what's going on. Now originally I just saw this land and thought I'd plop it on top of it, but you can see I've been digging it down and trying to find the best place to put it, and I feel like down and away is the best place, because this thing is quite big, it's a big box, and I don't really want it taking up a lot of space. So in the field of view of the paths, if it's going to be, just picture it forward across here and then upwards a bit, it is going to block out a large area of the view whatever way round you go. Now because I've put it down and further away, it means when you sort of move around it doesn't block out as much of the view, it's mainly just going to block that area over there from the path. Now from a distance as well, from other parts of the village, I think it would be quite likely that, again, if I'm over, that was clever. Let's go back up there. So yeah, if this was closer towards me and it was higher up, it would block off a lot of this view here, whereas now it's just going to block off the bottom bit there. So I think I got it in the right place, it looks just about right, and you're probably wondering what exactly I'm going to do with this, although I did describe it a moment ago. Basically it's going to have dig for hire written across the front, and then you can walk up inside it and there will be a shop inside. But now that we've got all of this space in front of it as well, I think what we're going to do is make a nice little garden. We're going to change the slope of all of this and have, yeah, some flowers and a nice little path leading up to the front of it. So it feels like an age has passed since I started this, but finally it is done, and I stand back to admire my work, and I can barely read it. So from the side here it doesn't look so good, so I put down this little sign, dig for hire. If we go to the front here you can see it looks pretty cool. And it's a strange looking little building. I think it looks better from the inside than the out, and you know what, this is pretty good. It doesn't really block the view of what's going on behind at all, and then from other places you'll be able to see more of the hills as well, which is pretty cool, so I'm happy with that. Looks like I need to go up top and put down a couple of torches though. But let's go and have a look on the inside. Now the inside is the bit that I'm most pleased with, and that's what I got a lot of help from people on my server with. And if you wanted to know a little bit more about that, I thought that some people might ask. Usually when I mention it I see some comments. I tend to tweet out when I'm doing little things on my server, so I just tweeted out that I needed some help, and some people came along and we just kind of jammed and came up with this right here. So if you want to be involved, just follow me on Twitter, you know. I tend to delete my tweets after I've put them out as well, because I don't really want to leave a load of spam on there. You know, once I'm done on the server, I delete my tweet and move on. But anyway, enough rambling about that. Let's talk about this place right here. So I wanted something that was kind of cozy, a little bit rustic, you know, something from a different era, not something very modern. And this, I feel, is just right. You know, it's quite nice. We've got a little bit of detail with the buttons, and we've got the clay going on. So the colours, it's not very colourful in here, but it's nice. I like it. So you've got this desk area over here. This bit up here is daylight sensors, in case you're wondering, which now I know are very easy to break without using a tool. And let's just pick that up and put that back. And we've got some tripwire hooks, so like coat hangers, you know, a few little details here and there. Don't really need to go into that too much. And then over here it says dig for hire. Hire a sumo to dig out an area for you. Leave an offer in the dropper under the checkout, and that is over there. And then it says books for writing offers in this chest. Now I've only got 4 at the moment, so I will fill that up. There's actually quite a lot I now need to do in between episodes. I've got to tidy up all of this mess you can see in my inventory. I've got chests over there, and I also need to go to the nether and get some glowstone. I now have like very little glowstone, so I need to make a trip over there. But there it says deposit request, so there is a dropper, and there's hoppers that send those items into this chest back here. And then we got a little computer as well, which is pretty cool. And there are some info signs as well. So info, digging services cover all tool maintenance. Info, digging service keeps all blocks from the dig. And I know that has 1 L, but it was all block or all blocks, L blocks. Yeah, because of the limit. So, yep, that's that right there. It's a nice cozy little shop. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And I don't know what else to say about it really. That is probably going to be pretty much it for this episode. So there is something else I feel like I should mention at the end of this episode. I'm currently trying to organise a little bit of live streaming as a group event on Hermitcraft. There is something that we need to do that kind of suits live streaming, and so I thought I'd try and make a little bit of an event about it. Now I don't know if it's actually going to happen. As I said, I'm just trying to organise it, but if you want to know about that, if you're interested in watching my live streams, then follow me on Twitch and follow me on Twitter. That's where I will usually announce them if you're interested in seeing that. And like I said, I don't know if it's actually going to go ahead, but I'm very much trying to make it happen, so hopefully there'll be that in the future. But that is it for this episode. I want to say thank you as always for watching, and I will catch you next time.